Bro, she just eating everything. She a hungry little
When in
girl.
doubt,
Eat.
I'm gonna eat it.
When in doubt, eat it up. Never mind. Happy Pride.
Ah.
Hi, hello, this is Jules the Human here, and welcome to the Jules the Anime Hour. I'm one of your hosts, Jules the Human, and every week we go out into the world and watch a little bit of anime, and then we come back here to talk about it. And today we're talking about BOFURI. I don't have the entire thing. Defense and whatever.
I
I
don't
didn't
want to
write that.
get hurt, so I'll max out my defense.
That anime today we're watching and we talked about, we're going to be talking about episode 5 through 8 of that anime. So if you haven't seen 1 through 4, if you have just seen 1 through 4, go back to last week, go check that out. But if you have seen 5 through 8, we're going to discuss it and give our thoughts to that. You can also suggest some new anime for us to check out by submitting a $5 super chat or 500 bits on Twitch, and that's how you get an anime up here. All of these anime have been either submitted by me or Matt or somebody special viewer from the community. So all these will be coming up in the future and will be chosen eventually at some point once we get through, because watch 4 episodes at a time. I don't go on these anime journeys alone. I go with my co-host Matt Galley. Matt, how are you doing this week?
I'm doing so good. I have been dying to get back into some Final Fantasy 14. I just need like a solid day to do nothing and just play that game. And watching these past 4 episodes also reminded me of that. So I
Yeah.
go to log on to it the other day and reboot my like subscription, and I saw that it was already active. So I don't know how long I've just had Final Fantasy 14 subscription running, but yeah, that's I need to play it now. Now I just have the the guilt of spending the money on it over my head.
Now you got to play that much worth of the game.
Exactly.
But wow, that's that's
Oopsies.
really funny. I have been diving back to Final Fantasy 14 as well because of this anime, and it is so fun. I came back and there was a war going on. I was like, what happens in the story? Let me play some main story quests. And I'm like, oh my God, there's so much happening. And I can't believe I stopped at the time I did. Hello, everybody in the live chats, either on Twitch, YouTube, or on X.com. Happy Pride Month. It is indeed a Pride Month. This is the first Pride episode. So nothing special. I'm sorry. I don't have anything, but it's great. Happy Pride, everybody. Man, this anime has sparked the love, like you're saying. Let's gay it up. Okay, go for it. Gay it up in the comments there. Do whatever. If you have any pride emotes, I see there's one. Is that Ratata? Ratata? There's that guy.
Ratata.
Yeah. This anime has sparked my love for MMOs again, playing games like this. And also there's some like downsides I do want to talk about the anime. Well, this sort of thing that's happening with me as a viewer versus me as a gamer. I definitely want to talk about that. But this anime is just a fun one. It's just fun and silly. And
it makes me laugh very often. I'm laughing at it, but I'm laughing at it more so. I feel like, again, we talked about the whole we should probably watch it dubbed as well as trying it out and subbed, because the comedic timing of not having to read the deliveries could really change the impact of that. But at least as an experience watching it subbed, it's the connections between certain things that I've interacted with playing MMORPGs in the past that this show handles in a very just lighthearted, goofy manner that just makes me laugh, because it's just very it's just not taking itself super seriously. And I feel like more often than not, at least especially in the MMO environment, most of the time, those types of games, there's so much work and so much passion and so much money that goes into making those games a reality, that they're usually trying to handle themselves with some sort of levity, some sort of like grandiose nature of this huge thing that you're getting into. But the show just kind of like gives you this fun little, like, sandbox-esque environment for all these for the silliest character, Maple, to just kind of like get in there and just start breaking everything apart by the funny ways that she decides to handle things that gamers wouldn't, I guess, conventionally think of. But we
Sure.
see her do things in her like own special way, her own little flair to it. And by the end of these 4 episodes, yeah, everybody's like, yeah, she's just a force of nature at this point. What do we even
Yeah.
do about it?
Glad she's on our side.
Glad she's on our side.
Everybody's just happy that they're friends with her, and it's like, well, you wouldn't want to get on her bad side because you never know what would happen. These are really cute, Cosmo. I love those. Those are very cute. The little pride Umbreons, very cute. We are going to dive into BOFURI, like we said, episode 5 through 8, and we're going to go break it down and then give our thoughts here. Episode 5, defense and spoils of war. What happens in episode 5?
Maple and Sally quickly make friends with Kasumi as they find themselves underneath the desert sands in a dungeon. They work together to clear the area, each of them taking an event medal as their reward, also adding Kasumi to their friends list. Sally discovers Maple with Kanade, another adventurer who tips them in on a hidden dungeon. Maple and Sally make quick work of it, finding several more medals. Sally sets out to PvP while Maple holds on to the medals, Maple giving Syrup skills in order to enlarge and allow flight for her turtle companion.
There you go.
She's just like, this is exactly what I wanted. Here, let's try it out. And he gets big, he flies away, and she's like, yeah, now watch this. Acid rain. And she's just flying around being a menace.
It's insane. Just
They're
doing
just
it
like, what
on a whim.
What do we do about her?
So we meet a character that we saw, was sort of a splendid cliffhanger at the end, where there was this girl in pink. We find out it's Kasumi, and they are thrust into this dungeon together, where if one dies, everyone dies, and they have to work together. So they first off started being sort of enemies, wanting to fight. Sally fights her a little bit, and they seem to be on equal terms as far as fighting style, or not fighting style, but fighting
skill
prowess,
level,
skill,
agility. Like they just seem to be equal match for each other.
Both have super speed, which is really cool. So these unbreakable chains, if one dies, everyone dies, and there's these. They go through it. I mean, I don't even have to go. There's these giant unkillable slugs. They figure it out. They work together, and then they get the medals, and they're all super nice. And Kasumi's like, "Yo, that was really nice. Thank you for the medal. Thank you for sharing the loot." And they add each other as friends. And then there's a 3-day montage for collecting coins to get the 9 medals. Now, I think in episode 5 through 8, if I'm not mistaken, there's a montage
every episode
in each episode
of some kind. And I think in episode 8 there's even 2 montages technically.
Yep. So we had already seen a montage like in episode 2 or something, to episode 2 or 3, where I was like, oh, all right. It was episode 2 because I was like, oh, episode 2, we're already getting a montage here. Like, I don't know about this. And now we're episode 5, 6, 7, 8, and we get montages every time. You brought up something which was really good before we started the podcast, but me as a viewer, see, I don't know if I like that.
Yeah,
me watching anime, I'm like, oh, we're getting another montage. Here we are. Okay. And then in the next episode, they're really cute. I love the animation. They're like having fun, whatever it is. And we're going to talk about the montages as they come. But I'm like, another montage for collecting 9 medals. I don't know if there's a better way to show that on screen, and I don't think there is. But what you explained to me before that, before the podcast, really helped me. Like, okay, that helps me.
Oh yeah, I was
like
just basically I was just basically saying that as somebody who's played a lot of MMOs, like, it gives that fetch quest moment where you're just kind of out with friends, like, oh, kill 15 of these, gather 10 of those, collect 12 of these. It just gives the whole, like MMO like grindiness that they're supposedly supposed to be, experiencing and engaging with. So for me, like, I understand how it could be like, not the most exciting thing to watch, but it to me, it conveys like a passing of time, that they're just casually just doing some stuff. They're just
Yeah.
doing the little pickup quests, the turn in, pick up, turn in. And in this case, it's with the event, like there's all of these different ways that they can collect medals, and the show doesn't necessarily want to stop and have to give the greater attention and detail to all of those things, but it's just like, hey, look, they were doing some fishing, they got a medal. They were doing some of this, they got a medal. They were helping some people out, they got a medal.
That's why I was like, I don't know if there's a better way to convey that in a visual medium without being boring. I guess this is the best way to do it. But when I started to think about it right now, about that's what MMOs are. And like that's what I was doing a little like a while ago, playing Final Fantasy 14, doing those little quests where it's like, take this thing, you got to go talk to this person. And it annoys me kind of too in the game. I mean, that's kind of where, we played WoW for a little bit, and it was literally just like fetch quests pretty much for the whole first beginning. And I'm like, okay, this is not fun.
Without any story context.
Yeah.
And I was saying that too, where like MMOs, you have these games where all of this time, attention, passion, money gets sunk into this one thing. So when it finally becomes a product, it's supposed to be kind of this grandiose, large scale thing. But this show is kind of just using the fact that it's just an anime to make light of the medium as a whole.
Yeah, because if you condense down the time that I took, the hours upon hours to get a really pretty staff for my black mage, it wouldn't be as fun. You would see pretty much the same thing as what Maple and Sally were going through. And like that makes me understand, like, okay, yeah, I mean, that is very true to how these games are and what you would have to do. And it also helps progressing the characters, because we see Maple progress quite a bit in these 4 episodes.
Yeah. And it could do the just straight cutaway, and it just be like, oh, that was such an easy time, like getting all of these medals. But then it's just like, then again, they could just show a few shots of them doing some things that are super lighthearted to convey that.
I think if it wasn't every episode, I think that's the issue. I think maybe they could do one of those cutaways
when they do it with like, in the same style, the same like music. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, it feels like, it brings me all the way back to, oh, it's the milk crisis. here's our milk crisis. This is going to be like the little bit that is recurring. There's little montages of them quickly jutting through the things, because like you were saying, the quest to get the legendary staff. I'm in Final Fantasy 14. I'm trying to get my like relic weapon, and it's a lot of just running around collecting wood and then processing wood and then trying to get my carpentry level up and stuff. We see little shots of them gathering later on, like wool. Do we really want to see every piece of wool they pick up? No, we just want to see the little vignettes in between, when actual important, engaging stuff is happening.
I think one way would be the cutaway thing that you were talking about, or another thing that is used in media, a lot of media, movies and stuff, is to maybe just show the landscape and then sun, moon, like the days passing, and that'd be cool. 2 seconds, 10 seconds of that, and like, oh man, we got all the medals. I just think that I don't want the rest of the anime to just continue with the formula, because I really do believe in this anime, and I really do, by the end, I'm gonna like it, like as a whole. But there
are actually a lot of comedic ways that they could have tied that together.
This is the one thing for me that is a little like, I'm being nitpicky, because a lot of it I really do like, but I'm being nitpicky because this is something we see in these 4 episodes, and I'm like, another one in the same style, like you were saying.
It also kind of tries to add like a slice of life layer to the show as well, which is that can start to make the show feel overbloated for sure. But then again, at the same time, for certain people, there's an audience that's gonna like absolutely love that, and that's for the people that love it, that's great. But it's
I
just it's a valid criticism to have.
yeah, I forgot. You were talking about it watching. Are you still watching it in Japanese with the subtitles?
I am still watching it in subtitles. Yes.
I would suggest definitely as well. We switched to English, and the English voice acting is really good.
Okay. Yeah.
It's better than most English voice acting, and I love Sally's character. I love Sally's voice actress, and
Well,
the English voice acting is really good. So I would suggest
I'll give it a
to
shot.
watch it
I'll
for the
go
next
back.
one.
I'll go
It
back.
was honestly super seamless, and we switched for these four, and I was like,
Okay.
okay, this is their
Yeah.
voice. I'm like, cool, this is great, and it does have that comedic timing, kind of like with Love is War, very similar to that. So we meet another character, Kanade, who is there with Maple, just hanging out and vibing. And then he kind of just gives them a quest, gives them a book. Hey, figure it out. And they find the ruins underwater. They easily take down the Hydra. Well, Maple easily takes down the Hydra in a very interesting way, right? With the poison in the
Oh my
water,
god.
dead, insane, breaking
Oh,
the game.
we're here in the secret underground water city, and it's the legendary Kraken. I'm just gonna turn this pretty ocean into a poison ocean. She just
Insane.
hydras over and over again.
It's
I'm about
crazy.
to hydra, dude.
Oh no, she about to Hydra. The game masters are watching Maple, and they're not having a good time. Sally takes out a lot of players using her or scratching her PvP itch. They're just taking out a bunch of people, them not having medals. So we do see like a scale of how many medals this crew has, and to
Yeah,
everybody in the world, really. It's like, oh man, they barely had like one or two. Like,
yeah,
they're not doing good at this event, but we're doing amazing. So it kind of shows the juxtaposition between where they're at versus the entirety of the other world, which is kind of crazy. And then, just flying turtle. Syrup gets megamorphed and mind
also,
control.
like, I completely forgot. I don't know if you wrote it down in your notes. I don't know if it was this next or the episode
Mhm.
after. I think it was multiple episodes after, actually. They
Actually,
100% use the Pokeball sound when they're summoning their little creatures at one point.
really?
You didn't hear the little like the little I can't
No.
like it's when they summon Syrup and the fox
Yeah.
man. They were they
Ouroboros.
were they Ouroboros. They made the Pokeball sound 100% 2 different times.
Oh my god.
I
No, I
I
didn't catch that.
lost my shit. I lost my shit. It was literally that.
Oh,
You
I didn't
can't tell
know.
me otherwise.
No.
Nobody.
Now I gotta hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Go back
Um,
looking for that. Oh my god.
Syrup is a mount now. So Syrup gained skill of mount when there is no mounts in the game. Now the game masters have something else to worry about, because now she has a mount, and we'll talk about it later how this just breaks the game and some of the quests that she is supposed to be doing. So Maple acquires flying big turtle. Episode 6, defense and reinforcements. What happens in episode 6?
Maple decides to take a break due to spending too much time in game, returning to news that many new mechanics have been added, Sally announcing they can go hunting for a guild hall. Maple decides to take a tree out in the forest. Upon discovering the many spots of the guild hall, Sally decides to invite Kasumi and Kanade, also finding and inviting Kuromu and Iz. Everyone goes off to side quest for their new guild leader, Maple, who also decides to go scouting for new members back on the first level, finding Yui and Mei, who have maxed out their attack. They seem to be a perfect fit to go adventuring with Maple. Maple and Sally guiding them back to the guild hall on the second level and introducing them to the rest of the guild.
This I really liked. I really liked this episode.
Again,
So
the band together.
getting the group together finally. From the intro, we see all the characters coming together. I've never had this happen where I played a game and I was trying to use those powers in real life, but I guess whenever you're working with VR, it is very
I was
easy
about
to
to
do
say,
that.
like, I can kind of draw a parallel with playing a whole lot of Beat Saber, where if you
Okay.
play too much Beat Saber and you start listening to songs, you will start seeing flying cubes at you. Like just like you will see the beat map, as they call it,
Sure.
just like, especially if it's a song that is in the game, because they have so much licensed music in the game at this point.
Okay.
You hear a song and you're just like, oh my, what are my arms doing?
Yeah.
There.
Just going. Yeah. I mean,
So
yeah, I could see
that's the
that.
closest thing, because when I originally got a VR and I played Beat Saber a few hours every day for like a few weeks, it was
Is that a good workout? I would think that's a good
it's a
workout.
good workout for like arms and like cardio, but
Mm.
it's not gonna, it's not like a core workout or
Ooh,
doing
what if you
any
did on a
legs.
treadmill?
That'd be very hard.
That'd be very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Bubsy said it's a good workout.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Cardio and arms, like,
Mm.
well, specifically like wrist and forearms.
Bro, I remember I was sweating playing drums for Rock Band and Guitar Hero, playing drums on Expert. Oh my god, that was like I had a sweat rag because I was like just going the whole. Oh my god, me and my brother would play for hours. Bubsy said literally burned 3,000 calories playing Beat Saber. Am I about to get a VR? Holy cow!
You should.
Dang, how many hours did you play? That's crazy.
That was probably the night we played like 3 hours straight.
Oh, because you could play 2-player, right?
We were just streaming it in Discord to each other.
Oh, gotcha.
But like I only have a PSVR. Bubsy has a VR where like you can have Discord like in your VR vision at the same time that
Oh,
you're
that's
in your VR
cool.
game.
That's crazy.
It's getting kind of nutty.
Yeah, that's insane.
What is it? Virtual New World when?
Yeah, really. Honestly, this game that they're playing, I wouldn't even want to be like the top player. I think it would be just super fun to play. Like this New World Online, I think it'd be super dope. That sounds like a very fun game to play. I mean, then you put some patches out because somebody's breaking the game. But like this New World Online seems pretty dope. So Sally got a bright bug to make a guild. Just so happens that she got it, which was fine. I mean, I thought it was gonna be another whole little quest thing to get that, but she's like, nope, I have it right here. Let's go find a guild house.
Instead of having a instead of having a montage about getting the coin, we have a montage about getting the guild hall, because we go from place to place and like, no, this one's not it. No,
this one was fine.
Too much like a building.
Yeah, this
so they go out
montage
to the
was
forest and they find this little tree.
Like, big tree, which is very different than everything else, which is kind of crazy. Crazy that they still had it, but I mean, it's for the story, right? We find out that Pain, as well, a little tidbit there, that Pain, somebody that they met earlier, has made the Order of the Holy Sword. So everybody is making these sort of guilds, because apparently at the beginning of the game, guilds were not a thing just yet. They had you start
like
and then make a guild.
Guilds weren't a thing, but you did already have me, who was like being pronounced as like the leader of the Flame Emperors or whatever.
Yeah,
so, like they weren't official, but you still had like these groups beginning to form or something.
Yeah,
just saying.
They find the treehouse. They're recruiting different guild mates here. Maple is the guild master. I mean, this is what I thought would happen, really. I mean, we knew that Maple was going to be the leader, and she names it, which is very funny, Maple Tree Guild. We got Maple, we got Maple Syrup, which is the turtle. We got Maple Tree Guild. It's great. I laughed. This is funny. This is silly.
And they're literally in a tree.
They're literally in a tree.
They're literally in a tree. It was so good. Just for the pun.
Guild fights. There's gonna be new events. Event 3, where there's a special monster to fight. Event 4, which is the guild event, which they're all kind of building up to. So I think event 4, don't know, but I think event 4 will probably be like the ending, how season 4 or season 1 ends, possibly, because it's gonna be like this guild event, possibly fighting each other. Don't know how that event 4 is going to work, but we got some new characters as well. Well, people that we met already, but new to the guild, the green and pink sisters, Yui and Mai, who have maxed out their attack power.
I
So
laughed so hard.
yeah. Sally and Maple kind of meet them there at the shop that they ate fake food at, but can taste the food, and it tastes really good. Recently, before in the past, in episode 3 or 4, but they meet Yui and Mai there, and they're recruiting them for the guild. And I still continue to think, and this recruitment for Yui and Mai sort of still pushes that. Like, I think I want Sally. I don't think I don't want Sally to be mean to Maple. Maybe it's me. Again, I gotta say, maybe it's me as a gamer, or the gamer in me is coming out, because Maple is like, hey, can we recruit these guys that are like super under level and they maxed out their attack power? I don't know, man. And can we recruit them to the guild? Is that cool, Sally? And she's just like I feel it. I feel it, but I don't think it's there. She's
I
just
think
like,
you're completely imagining that. But
what? No,
well, I mean,
there's so many moments.
in the context of the show, I think you're imagining it. I
Sure.
can see where that's coming from, and I would be probably more in that boat for sure, in like the context of trying to start a guild in an actual like MMO or something like that.
I mean, last episode I did bring up a couple of things where Maple's like, this is okay, right? And then Sally's just like, yeah, whatever you want. And it's like,
Sally's
okay.
response has several times been like, if it's okay with Maple, it's okay with me. Even like when like she asked if she could add Kasumi to her friends list, and Kasumi looked at Sally, and Sally's just like,
those little moments, man. Those little moments are where I'm like, Sally's gonna break something. They should do.
Sally thinks it's like amusing. Like, I think Sally's like,
okay,
you know, that's good old Maple. You know,
okay.
That wouldn't be me, but I know it's good old Maple, so I know it's like fine.
I just want Sally to break away.
But I think then later on by episode 8, you have the moments where it's like everybody's just like, oh. Maple's becoming.
My conspiracy theory is that Sally does not want to be with Maple in the game, but she sees the insane power she keeps getting and is like, I gotta stay with you. Like, that she's the ultimate gamer, where it's like, I don't want to be with you. You are ruining, quote unquote, my experience as a gamer and wanting to PvP everybody and to just go insane and be the best. But you have so much power and you keep getting it in these weird ways that I don't know how, and I can't fathom it. So I'm going to stick by you. I don't know, man. I really wish they would add, well, I mean, they're not going this way. She did like a little eye twitch, like every time Maple looked to her for something and she did like a little eye twitch, I'd be like, oh, hold on.
The show at any part had like introduced any amount of stakes at any point, like, I could have seen that. I could see that becoming a thing, but it's just the fact that the stakes have been non-existent in this show.
Sure.
So by episode 8, for where things get to by episode 8, I'm just like, yeah, we're full sending it. Like, it's fine, and I'm okay with it. Like, it's entertaining. I'm here to be entertained at this point.
Sure.
I want to see how far off the rails this car can be thrown but still stay on the ride.
Yeah.
It's
not gonna happen.
I'm here for the break.
But look at Sally. Look at how cool she is.
Why are you blue?
She could take him out. I just want her to turn on Maple. I don't, but then I do. Keelan says we're just having a good time. No, I want fighting and I want challenges. It's not gonna happen. I want drama between Sally and her. Just because me as a gamer, every time that Maple looks at Sally, I'm like, this is a perfect time.
Tension.
This is the time. And I see that tension, but it's just me. Me as a gamer, where I would not go with that person. I would be like, no, don't do that. Like, what are you doing?
Me kicking the Helldiver out of the lobby that brought the mortar stratagem when we're on bugs. What are you doing?
You're not my friend. We're friend, but I'm friend. That meme,
friend.
yeah. only humans friends, man. Sorry, but I'm friend. Or whatever they said. Apparently the flying turtle is famous. So they're really like Dan's is accurate. Apparently the flying turtle's famous. So they're really downplaying, and we're not seeing the other side, really. We're not seeing a whole lot of the other where people are talking about it. I mean, we see the game masters talking about her. We don't see other people really discussing her. And I kind of would like that side, but
outside of the first event when we got to
yeah.
see like reactions from the crowd, that was the
Mhm.
only time we've really gotten the true like public reaction.
But apparently she's getting famous
Yeah.
in the world, and people are like, what's going on? Especially with the new mount, the big old turtle that's just flying around. They're like, what is that? What's
Big old
going
turtle
on?
flying around the city,
This
right
is
up above the
insane.
city.
And then they go grinding off and doing some stuff leading into episode 7. So episode 7, defense and upgrades. What happens in episode 7?
Maple takes Yui and May to run dungeons to level them up, them gaining new skills along the way. Sally also training them on how to avoid damage with low agility. Everyone works on advancing their skills in time for the next event. Maple helping Iz collect supplies and going on a quest chain that would see her gaining the power of an guardian angel.
Yeah.
The Order of the Holy Sword seems to be keeping tabs on Maple Tree as a possible adversary.
Was that a giant cheat ball? Yeah, she got. Don't even ask, man. Maple just gets a lot of abilities very quickly, and one of her abilities is that she can do that so that they're not able to attack her.
She can't
It's
get out.
interesting, but she can't get out. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very cool. So they're fighting a leveling up. I dig this part because that's what it is. Going back, going forward, going through. They can't penetrate the floof. No, it's impenetrable, and she uses it definitely, and it works, which is kind of funny. But we get a montage again of fighting the Hydra. Them taking Mabel taking you and Mai through the dungeon over and over again. They're defeating it in under sub 3-minute run.
Under 2
Insane.
minutes and 30 seconds to get
Under
their
2,
skills, Conquer and Destroyer.
which is insane.
Conquer, which it like doubles their attack power or something like that, which they've already have maxed out, and then Destroyer lets them wield two-handed weapons as if they were one-handed, so they can dual wield heavy hammers.
So they have two-handed weapons in one hand, also double their attack. They get these cool new crystal hammers. I like the part because that's mainly why I'm playing, an MMO or a game like this or a RPG where you only have one main character and going through different dungeons and stuff and getting new gear. I love the gear aspect of any game. And I love the gear aspect in this anime because it's just fun and really cool. And I don't know what it is, but it makes me feel happy when I see them get something new. When I saw them, getting the new ice hammers, I'm like, whoa. And they take like a moment to like spectacle it, like, oh, look at these hammers. I could dual wield these two huge hammers. And whenever Maple gets something new, like a new armor or new shield or something, I love that stuff. Super great. In this episode, we get a lot of it. Maple gives Kuromu syrup for the day, and this is my new favorite companionship. I don't want to say ship because it's not like that, but like I want Kuromu and syrup interacting forever. I love these two characters together. Just go off and first does I know syrup is in the game. Does syrup have sentience or AI or something?
Yeah,
Because it's the
probably.
cutest little guy.
It's
Syrup is the
turtle.
turtle. Yeah.
Turtle.
Um,
Just walking around saying turtle.
just hanging out. Yeah.
reacting to what everybody says.
Yeah. So cute.
It's like, no, I'm just
Literally
joking.
like, oh, the little mouth and everything. Favorite character. Y'all are not ready for what the end screen's about to look like. Let me tell you now. I love it. Love the turtle. Kanade has a storing magic skill where they can. I like the skill stuff.
I like how they you can see each of them having their little niche that they occupy in terms of like whatever they give you at the start a bunch of different weapons, but choice of weapons that people could pick, but it does seem like, a classless MMO where people are just more so creating their own, because like what even is Sally? She said swashbuckler. She hasn't used a shield once. She went dual dagger, but she's still throwing wind cutter and fireball around. Like she
even said though at the
spell
beginning
thief or
she was
whatever.
Yeah, she even said at the beginning she was like, I don't know if I'm going to be using magic at all, so I'll save my points for then. So a swashbuckler can use magic, or like you're saying, a classless thing where you can pick from trees.
Yeah.
And
you just
decide how you want to
whatever
play.
you do, whatever you're using, you get better at and stuff like that, which is like that's cool. I like that concept because then you get like, you get Kasumi being like introduced as a samurai, then you get Kanade being introduced as like a scholar, artificer. Is over there like I'm the guild crafter,
when they first introduced I don't know if we have a picture of her, but this is the closest one we had. I thought she was an NPC at like the very beginning. I thought she was just like, hey, I'm here to craft your weapons. I was like, okay, cool. We gotta, we got somebody that can craft things in this town. Maybe in the next town it'll be somebody else.
Fantasy, it's just like you got somebody that's investing everything into crafting. They're gonna make some pretty good stuff. They're gonna make some pretty good stuff.
That's true. So I thought she was an NPC at the beginning, but then I'm really glad now they have a crafter in the guild, which is pretty cool. They could just make stuff if you give them the materials, and they're able to do whatever they want. A Rampart crafter modder, yes. And Kanade is filling this other role, like you're saying. I like the aspects of it, but when I look or try to understand the game mechanics, it does seem very broken a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Because this storing skill is kind of insane, and it seemed like he could store a lot of different spells in there, because once Fireball went, it was like one little book
on a shelf, and there was room for like 6 more books, and then he has 2 shelves.
So he can store like 12 spells that don't use MP that are instant.
It just takes 30 minutes or so to store them beforehand.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Just go read. Just whatever. That's insane.
That's in-game time, which is shorter than IRL time.
Yeah.
Or whatever the logic, whatever they made behind that.
Mm-hmm. So when I try to zoom out, a lot of it sounds cool. Very cool. But as a game, does it function? Who cares? We're having fun.
We're here for a good time, to be entertained.
Kuromu finishes his secret dungeon. He gets new armor sets, which is pretty cool, with his like samurai looking stuff. Very cool stuff. Let's see. So then we get to the quest tree of Maple going down this whole quest tree of helping out this lady's daughter, and then it becoming the NPC dialogue, which is a very cool thing that they put some time into, where you're supposed to be traversing through all of these enemies, but all she's doing is just flying over the turtle. And during these spots, the NPC is saying,
and it's still triggering as if they've been fighting off hordes of enemies.
Very funny.
Beautiful.
It's something I would not have thought of, and I'm glad they put it in there because it was very funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was very silly to be like, oh, I can't believe they're doing that. That's really cool. It's very clever way to introduce that and just it be a part of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Just just make the game feel like a game and have this sense of awareness of like MMO conventions and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody dreads the escort quest. Like that's the the dreaded thing. But here's Maple
Yep.
just like, oh, I'm just gonna fly everywhere with my mount that technically shouldn't even be in the game. Like, it's hilarious to see that happen, because yeah, you see the fetch quest beginning, you see her picking it up, like, oh well, I'd feel bad if I said no. Like, everybody's
Mm-hmm.
been there. Everybody's been there. And
I don't think
then
I would. I mean, in a normal game, I don't care about NPCs, but if you're in VR, I think it would make you care a little bit more whenever, because I don't, okay, me, gamer, I don't like side quests. I don't care about side quests. I'm going to go through the main
but that
set.
loot.
No, the main quest loot is always going to be better if you go high enough, if you go far enough.
But what if it gets too hard?
That's skill issue, dog. That's on you. Get good.
Dang, you right. But like
But
in an
like,
MMO, it's like, it's usually number based and stuff. Side quests give you specs sometimes.
oh yeah, side quests do give you backstory sometimes. I mean, I do the side quests in gacha games where they have like a side quest all about one character and it gives you like a little story. That I'll play for sure. But side quests to get money, I'm just like, or money or just like one little item, I'm not a big fan of. But I think if there was a woman pleading in front of you and you're there physically in VR, I think yes, it
My
would be a lot
daughter is
harder.
dying.
Yeah, my daughter is dying. Go help her. And I'm like, oh fuck. I gotta do something. Hello, Gianna. How are you? From YouTube. Hi, we're Jules and Matt. We're talking about anime this hour. We're talking about BOFURI, episode 5
That's what
through
we're
8.
talking about.
So you go down this whole quest route. She gets the loving sacrifice skill, and she gets a whole new armor set. Bro, I'm loving this. This is great. It's Jakini. Hi, how are you? Hi, Jakini. Hello.
Hi, Jakini.
I love this quest here. This is great. I love the armor. Fantastic. Looks beautiful. And now Maple's an angel. So we get that. She was a sheep.
Basically.
She's been a couple things. I didn't realize you guys moved to YouTube streaming. Yeah, well,
frick Twitch.
What? I mean, really, they're raising Twitch sub prices, and it's not great. But for Jules and Matt Anime Hour, you can support for the cool $4.99 or $2.99. Have that option. Hello, Claire. Hi, hello. How are y'all doing? But this new armor set looks great. Looks beautiful. Love the new set. This insane OGCD, I guess, of just loving
if we're
sacrifice.
Standing anywhere in this circle, we're covered by Maple's cover ability, which gives us her vitality, and her vitality is over 1,000.
It's insane. Loving sacrifice, guardian angel, OP, insane stuff. Because of her, everybody becomes invulnerable in that shield. So that's just another thing to tuck behind her, tuck in her little bag of tricks that she's been getting. It's insane. Well, I guess I want to talk about it at the end of episode 8. Let's get going. We don't have that much time. Episode 8, defense and third event. What happens in episode 8?
As a new event begins, the members of Maple Tree all set out to do their part in collecting medals. Maple, however, finds herself stumbling into a dungeon with a demon boss, quickly defeating it and absorbing its power. Mai of the Flame Emperors is shown to handle the event with ease as they command their guild in unison. Maple goes full demon mode in front of everybody as she clears the way to the 3rd level. Hearing rumors about a machine god in the tower in the center of town, Maple flies in on Syrup and solos another boss while obtaining the power of the machine god, turning into a mecha. Episode 8. Turtle Hyper Beam. It was called Spirit Cannon, actually.
Spirit Cannon. Syrup gained Spirit Cannon, and it looks insane. So event 3 is a cow vent. They have to they have to collect bells. Again, I like when characters get new gear. and with them in their wool clothes, the cutest. They're the cutest. I'm totally okay with it. If they get new
Stewie
clothes
was
every
like,
time,
couldn't you make something a little less revealing? And it's just like, heck
yeah,
no, I wanted you to look cute as fuck.
yeah, it's great. The turtle's name's Syrup, yes. So it's
Yep,
Maple,
maple
main
syrup.
character. Main character's Maple, and she has syrup, maple syrup.
And their
And
guild is Maple Tree. It's got maple syrup that comes from the maple tree.
we get the what is it called again? Spirit
Spirit
cannon.
cannon.
Spirit cannon from
And
I
you
don't
got
even
the
know
little maple sheep ball next to him.
yeah, I didn't even know homie had it in him. That's insane.
After
So
he'd used nature's grasp as well. The vines like held down the demon.
mm-hmm.
That was
He's OP. He's insane.
he's a raid boss.
Yeah.
Raid boss syrup.
Claire said, I feel like they have the names backwards though. Maple is often on syrup. Maple's on syrup. Oh, that's true. So then her name should have
But
been
you put
syrup.
maples where's pancake? You need maple
Oh,
syrup to
who
go
needs a
on the
pancake?
pancake.
True. Um, this new boss just gets
Just
wrecked here
get more and
because
more ridiculous to be taken out in more and more silly ways. So sour, so tangy, so bitter.
she
Punch, punch,
eats
punch, 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 punch.
she eats the raid boss from inside, which is an insane mechanic to begin with. But her first thing to do once she gets eaten is to just start munching on him.
I mean, she ate the poison dragon.
I mean, yeah, I guess if I did that and that was like the first thing I ever did, I'd be like, fuck, I'm gonna eat everything. I'm just gonna be chomping on everything. But
Like,
then you could also taste the things that you're eating, which is another detail that they add in there. So she's tasting and literally eating a demon. And then she gets their power. So she's an angel, she's a demon.
that could be your angle.
Pretty much. The guild should have been pancake. True. Maple pancake. She does eat the explosive bomb bug things too. Bro, she just eating everything. She a hungry little
When in
girl.
doubt,
Eat.
I'm gonna eat it.
When in doubt, eat it at. Never mind. Happy Pride.
I'm gonna eat it. Or something like that.
Kuromu and Syrup are so cool together. I love them too because Kuromu is there just being like sad that everybody's looking cute. And he's like, oh man, everybody looks cute in their new wool outfits. And then Syrup's just like, puts a little hand on him. It's like, I want a side story of just them two doing silly little things. I love
You
these
almost
characters.
get that with him finding that dungeon on his own.
Yeah, but not
Not
really.
really. Yeah.
I want them to be separated from the group somehow, and then they're like, "Oh man, we got to go back together," and then it's like fun little antics. I think
Give
that
us
could be
a whole
cool.
episode of Kuromu X Syrup.
Yeah. Maple finds like a coin little thing that looks like a cog, which plays in later because she fell and stuff. What is it? Spirit cannon. She's a demon from the inside. She gets the new skill of seeping chaos, which is just level 3 goofing, I guess.
Turning into a kaiju.
Her new demon skills, atrocity. And then she goes, they all go to world 3, which is sort of like a steampunk machine level. And it's a montage again, but with a little bit story about the new world that they're in. So I'm really happy. They give us like a little bit of background on the story and what's going on, because that's going to be a big part of their story that they're trying to tell. That there's a second generation of the machine. Yeah, the story.
I feel like that entire setup is literally just for the encounter with that machine god boss, and the fact that now
nothing else.
I think they're gonna drop that immediately in the
really
next episode. Yeah, I feel like that was part of the comedy, was all the build up and like everything, and then it's just like, oh, she's just gonna steal its power, become a mech, and then just shoot it with a big laser. And
I hope they stay on this world because this is the most fleshed out the world's been.
No, like, what's his name? Isn't it? Pain is already like on level 6 or something like that.
I don't know if they said that.
They
He
said
is
that
higher than
he's
everybody.
higher than everybody else, but
I thought no. I thought when they were on
no,
World
they said
2 that
he's
he was already
already
on
level
World 3.
60 or something like that. My
Yeah,
bad.
he is a higher level, but he was the first one on World 3 before everybody else.
Yes.
So he is ahead of them, but I don't think they've said anything about where exactly he is,
I
but
still
he is
think that
higher
they're
level.
going to drop everything about the whole machine concept.
I like
I'm
this
just saying.
steampunk level. I like this world. It was a cool little thing, but Maple just hands it to him.
The lore is cool, but it's like I feel like the lore is the lore and like the angel thing, like all that is there, and it just kind of brushes it lightly to serve as a vehicle for Maple and now her guild to get stronger, and just excuses to put in front of them for them to just be able to acquire these overpowering abilities that are just widely broken.
Yeah. Claire says, I think they've been quite smart in making her big things transformations, so they're mutually exclusive and not stackable. Yeah, that's really good because her being angel, demon / mech warrior god,
Yeah. I mean,
all
yeah,
together would be insane.
one prediction didn't have when we were like a few episodes in was that she was going to have 4, 5 different forms by episode 8.
Insane. Here's one. Here's her machine
I
god,
would have guessed that she would have a lot of defense and be very
demon,
hard to kill. I would not have
angel.
guessed she would have. Yeah. She can go
She has at least
Hydra,
4 different
Angel.
outfits.
She can go Hydra, Angel, Demon,
Hydra,
and Mech.
machine, mech. Looks cool though. We're having fun. We're having a good time.
We're here to have fun.
She finds the king of the machines. 2nd gen comes alive. She becomes the machine god. The monster becomes 3rd gen. Some cool story to lead up to a big boss fight. Some cool story about the 3rd world. But I gotta ask you: is Maple OP? Is she too powerful? And where does she go here? And does it? I'm asking a lot of questions because it's all in my head while I'm watching this. Is there too much? Like, is she too OP? Where are they going in like a stonks? Like it ramped up way too fast, so now we have nowhere to go to tell a engaging story because Maple has so much she can do. Like, is it still engaging after this with her 4 forms?
Yeah, I mean, like Claire was saying, I think that they have been smart in trying to do certain things to limit her power by giving the power via transformations, or even things like with her devour ability, how we saw how broken that was at first. They were very quick to be like, oh, look, and it caused a nerf. Like that whole power scaling aspect of it has been teased. The writing has teased that it's not that it isn't too much to take away power that it's already shown her to have in the first place. So that's something to keep in mind moving forward, where they might be like, oh, all of a sudden transformations now also have like a daily cap or have a limiting timer, stuff like that. So the concept of balancing in the storytelling is something that could keep it from being a problem with her becoming too powerful for the narrative to stay in its own scope. If she is out of the scope of whatever the admin is able to still throw at her at this point.
Claire says if they fix stats, they won't scale with her. If they fixed stats, they won't scale with her either. I think right now it's getting to the point where it's too much for me, where I'm just like, okay, now we're gonna have this thing. But I do agree with you what you're saying about how they're gonna make that story, and I do have faith that they're gonna make that story, like we were saying last episode about her versus the game masters, how where they see this happen, her getting a bunch of stuff, and we already seen them like take a look like, whoa, she's defeating this boss in one take or whatever, or she defeated it already. It was not supposed to be able to be defeated. So I still think that they're gonna just nerf her quite a bit or put some timer where you can only use it once or something like that. But on the other side, it is really fun just to see Maple do some silly and crazy stuff.
It's fun because it's the whole concept of Maple as a character is what keeps it fun for me. If Sally was the main character, the show would not be as entertaining at all. But Maple is the main character, and that is like she is so entertaining to just see her. She's turning into a little fluffy ball and she can't even control it. And then she poisons the whole thing and she's like, look at me, now people can't get me. And then it's like, oh well, now I can't get you out. And then
Yeah.
she's rolling around like, no, help me. Like, she's just so funny. She is lighthearted, and she's got like like how people that were following the Mai, they were like, oh, she's got this charisma, and that's how why people follow her. And I think Mai's a very good foil character to Maple in terms of like
Oh,
leaders.
okay.
I think that she serves like a very good, like, I mean, a very interesting foil to Maple in terms of like leaders and leadership. Like, some people can be like strong and decisive, and that might be what makes them a good leader, but other people might be like caring and compassionate and understanding, and that's what makes them a good leader. So I think that that's also just this kind of like thing that the show possibly can go somewhere with into the next 4 episodes to conclude the season, because I mean we're heading up to something in terms of this whole, it's going to be like a guild competition. So between the Holy Swords, the Flame Emperors, and Maple Tree, we now have a 3 faction, a 3 guild competition that's
From
going
what
on.
we can tell, Maple Tree has the least amount of members, I
Yeah,
think. So
but it has Maple.
it has Maple. That's true. Because I felt like they could have done either transformation and then move on with the story. I'm not sure a second one adds much. Yeah, because she just got a couple. Also, my concern is that she got them all within like a couple episodes span, and I'm just like, okay, cool. It starts to get desensitizing. It doesn't. What is it called?
It feels less impactful.
Result of diminishing returns or whatever it's
Yeah.
called, where we just saw her get a thing, now we just saw her get another thing by eating a monster, and then we get a machine thing as well, and it's like, okay,
we haven't seen everybody react to the machine because like it just kind of cold closed on the fight. But I think at least up until the monster, getting the demon, getting the angel, where everybody's like kind of just like with like, eyes wide open, like, oh my god, like Maple's this amazing creature, like amazing being, she's our guardian angel, right into getting this devil demon where everybody's just like like
yeah, what's going on?
like, I think that is hilarious.
Mhm.
Just the change of pace there. But then to immediately go into the mech bit, that's when I was kind of just like, yeah, I was just kind of like, is this just all we're gonna do now?
Yeah.
We're just gonna keep getting new and better forms because yeah, it takes some of the, I mean, again, it's just one of those things where I am partially just here to be entertained, and for this whole concept to be turned on its head by Maple's hands, because I like Maple and think she's funny.
I like the whole crew. The crew's so fun. I love that they keep getting new outfits. I love that they keep getting new abilities. Well, albeit there's a lot of abilities, I like them spending a little bit of time on the abilities they do get, or the new gear, or the new
I
stuff.
like that
That's what I
most
like.
of the abilities are well communicated enough that when it does come into play that something impactful is happening, it's not like, where did that come from? Like,
Except for Syrup.
Which time was Syrup?
I mean, Syrup had that like hyper beam, had the vines.
It showed him getting the hyper beam in the Mother's Nature, though. I mean, I'm not saying the power scaling is correct, but I'm saying that like it kind of communicates when and where these things are coming from. And I'm not saying that those times and places make sense, but when they are being used, I'm just like, oh, that's the thing. Like they just mentioned using that, getting that. Or when Maple goes all fluff versus a demon lord, we just saw her using it for fun and getting sheared because they were trying to make new armor, and it's like it's getting called back to, and used more, and it feels like the show's constantly like setting itself up for the next thing, and if one bit isn't landing for you, the next one's already going to be on the way, trying to
Definitely.
yeah.
And next
So
week is the last time we're going to be talking about BOFURI. We're finishing the anime. We're going to rate it on our scales. We have a ton of anime in season 2 that are up here already. S tiers, A, F, C. Where is BOFURI going to be on this list? You can help us decide by voting. I'll have a list up in the Discord. So join the Discord. It's in the description of this video, but I will have it in the anime chat section for the anime hour, and you'll be able to vote for what this gets rated as. So your vote counts on where BOFURI lands. A little bit less than me and Matt, but it still counts towards wherever it's going to land. And then after that, after we rate BOFURI next week, we are going to pick a brand new anime. So a way to get an anime in the anime chest is to give us a $5 super chat on YouTube or 500 bits on Twitch. Either one of those gets an anime of your choosing put up here, and we're going to pick it out at random, and one of those is going to be next. So Matt, whenever you're not here maxing out your defense, where can they find you?
You can find me on my YouTube at Matt_Galley. Or actually, it might just be Matt Galley. I'm gonna live check that. We're live checking my YouTube.
I did have an issue trying to find you. You do have to put at Matt_Galley to find you. So
live check Matt_Galley on my YouTube. You can find me streaming. I'll be streaming this Friday. I'm gonna play some content warning with Jules the Human here and some other streamers, and I'll be playing something else after as well. And yeah, that's where I'm gonna be from now on. So follow me on my YouTube. You can also follow me on my socials. Just add an ITS at the front at it's Matt_Galley. And Matt quit Twitch. Matt did quit Twitch.
Matt
asterisk for the time being until they can do better.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, when we're not here getting new armor and making ourselves look cooler in our little gear, where can the people find you?
At JulesTheHuman, at JulesTheHuman on all social media. On YouTube, I stream on YouTube now. YouTube.com/JulesTheHuman. You can find the episodes of this podcast on my YouTube channel, or here you could see all my videos that I post during the week. You can watch my lives, like Matt said, right after this on YouTube. It's going to take you to the stream for Friday, so you can go ahead and hit that notify me button to be notified when we go live. It'll be on Friday. We're going to be playing Content Warning. It's a really funny and silly game where we try to be spooktubers and capture the funniest stuff on SpookTube and post it for our fans there. So we're going to be doing that on Friday, and I stream pretty regularly over on my YouTube, youtube.com/JulesTheHuman. You could also find this podcast if you want to watch it somewhere else on Spotify. Go and check it out on Spotify. If you have Spotify, you can watch the video, not just listen to it, and it's there as well on my YouTube channel and all the other places. So Matt will not be streaming on YouTube now instead of not streaming. Matt promises he will stream. Matt promises he will stream.
I've already streamed once on YouTube.
He streamed once. How about that? You suck it. Sorry, that was rough. That was a little more mean than it just kind of came out. Next week, BOFURI, episode 9 through 12. We are finishing the anime. Watch episode 9 through 12 of that.
Joke's on you. Twitch, 1,000% more of 0 is 0.
1,000 more. Oh yeah, 1,000 times 0 is still 0, actually. Watch episode 9 through 12 of BOFURI, and we're gonna rate it, and you can help us rate it and all that good stuff. And we're gonna pick a new anime next week. So yeah, see y'all later.
Bye.